fiction novel is titled The Director. It tells the story of the real 20th century Austrian filmmaker named G.W. Pabst, who, despite his initial reluctance, made multiple films under the supervision of Joseph Goebbels and the Nazi regime. Joining us now, the book's author, Daniel Kehlmann. Daniel, thank you so much for being with us this morning. That introduction sells you short. Certainly, you're a very accomplished author. Talk to us about the origins of this book. Joseph Goebbels, for those who do not know, the chief propagandist for Hitler's Third Reich and the Nazi regime. Talk to us about why you decided that this is a story you wanted to tell.
G.W. Pabst was one of the most famous directors in the world. He was a German director. He was not a Nazi. He left Germany and went to exile in Hollywood. He made a movie. It went terribly. They didn't treat him well there. The studio system couldn't make any use of his talents. And at that point, the Nazis must have contacted him and said, listen, you don't have to put up with that. You can come back. You can work in Germany. You have every budget you want, you can have all the actors you want. And he ended up doing that. And so that was my way to write about what life is like in a dictatorship.
And talk about this idea of the compromises you make along the way. That seems to be one of the real narrative threads of this book.
Yes. In a dictatorship, compromises sneak up on you. You think you're still doing like just living everyday life, and it's also a thing of small steps. You're making small steps. You don't want to insult people. You don't want to say the wrong thing, and suddenly it gets more serious, and suddenly people are disappeared, but it's not you, and you still go on, and suddenly you've made not suddenly actually. After a while, you realize you've made a pact with the devil. But you got in it without actually noticing. And for some reason, I felt there was a relevant topic to write about right now.
For some reason.
It is the definition of a Faustian bargain, right? That you make this decision that you know better than, and you do it anyway. I think everyone in some way can relate to this. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about the central theme.
I mean, the central theme is how far go. And it's if you look at the Oscar gala, you had all these wonderful people who were just a year ago so political, and now suddenly they had nothing to say about politics. And it's just a general tendency. You look at that and you say, do you really all have nothing to say about it? None of you? And that's pretty much what happened in the beginning under the Nazis and in Germany. And then, of course, it got progressively more serious. The totalitarian state never stops, and it gets more and more intrusive, and it doesn't leave you any free space. And that's what it does.
You think you are so steeped in this topic right now. So I have a question for you, which is a question that really does rack my brain. Why is it so hard for people to be brave?
It is so hard because you have to start so early. Early with the small things, with the small compromises that you shouldn't make.
Right.
And it's because the dictatorship is very good at making you somebody who is part of it, who is kind of already compromised. And so it very soon gets a handle on you, and it very soon is able to, blackmail you, first in small ways and then in bigger ways. And so the important thing is to take a stand early, because you won't be able to do it when down the road.
The powerful and timely new novel, The Director, is on sale now. Author Daniel Kehlmann, thank you so much.